Alright guys, so one thing I've been commonly seeing a lot lately is tier lists for Neverness to Everness. Obviously, on the characters, who you should be pulling for first, and yada 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 yada. Now, no disrespect, no hate or anything to anyone who who's making tier list kind of video. However, when it comes to this game, I think there's a lot of stuff you guys should consider before you just go watching your favorite creator and just going off of their tier list, who they say is meta, and just automatically rolling for that character. There's a few things here I want you guys to check out when it comes to building these characters. There's a lot of variety and a lot of things you can do with these different characters. Like my good buddy Staparu over here. This dude beat the Justice Executioner with a level 1 appraiser. He beat the Justice Executioner with a level 1 appraiser.
Hey yo, what the fuck?
Yeah, just dodging and stuff like that. And not to mention there is a variety of build stuff you can do here for your characters. But anyway, let's go ahead and showcase it and talk about it. Gamers and game mets, what is going on? My name is Tanek127 and welcome back to another video. And guys, in today's video I want to talk to y'all more about Neverness to Everness. However, if you want to stay updated on all things NTE, make sure you're liking today's video, subscribing to the channel if you're new, and let's go ahead and get on into today's topic. So, like I was saying before, there are a lot of things you can do to build these characters and customize them a lot more than your typical gacha games. So, you guys know how in normal gachas, you can roll for the character, you can roll for their weapon or some type of armor piece and stuff like that. You can customize a few stats, with like a few light pieces of gear or, a few different things, but for the most part, they are stuck in that role. In this game, they're a lot more customizable. I'm not saying you can 100% build them how you want, like different characters can use any weapon and anything like that. It's not quite like that. But there is a lot of variety here, and I would say, go with who you like, because at the end of the day, there's plenty here where you can build these characters. So, for one, you have the typical leveling system, where you ascend them, level them up, and that increases their stats alone. You already know that. But number two, you have the arc system. Now, there's all kinds of different arcs, that'll give different stat benefits and stuff like that. That's one thing. These, can also be upgraded and stuff like that. But let's go a bit more in depth. Let's talk about the console. Now, this is one of the interesting ones, because there's all kinds of different starter modules and cartridges that you can stick into the console. And then from there, you can use the blocks right here that you see at the top and customize the stats and what you get even more. You can also awaken your characters. Now, you guys know how awakenings work usually in typical gacha games. The more times that character drops, the more you can awaken them. Just like in other games, you get the character 6 times, they're fully awakened and stuff like that. Well, let me show you all a little tip with the awakening thing. These are all different effects that you can re-roll on these characters, and they all have different stats. They all give different buffs, different debuffs, different things you can build for the character. Now, I'm not saying, everybody's tier lists are wrong, who a lot of creators are saying is the meta and stuff like now is completely wrong. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that these characters are a lot more customizable than in your typical gacha game. So, let's say your favorite creator is telling you to pick Hathor because, she's the top damage character or whatever. Well, just because, she's an S tier and, and has great stats and everything, that doesn't mean you can't go and customize, let's say, Fadia to do something similar. Now, like I was saying before, they're all going to be locked into their specific element, their role, and stuff like that. And at the end of the day, those are things you can't really change. But I'm just saying, there's a lot of stat customization in this game. So don't just get locked into a certain group of characters because a lot of people believe they are the meta. That's all I'm saying, guys. Just pay attention. Just take a look into this system and all these different things you can customize before you make a decision on who you're going to roll on or pull for or whatever. That's all I'm saying. I'm not trying to knock anybody's videos or content or anything like that. I'm just saying these characters have a lot of customization here, and that can play a role ultimately in who you want to play. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Y'all enjoyed today's video? Smash that like. I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace out. Have a good one.
Filling the lungs inside you, and the black and eyes make